Welcome to the living room, 2921 Duff Road, where we're learning how to live healthy, even though we're living in a toxic world. Tonight's class is the miracle enzyme, your body's repair systems. Let's get started. Wow. So let's take a look at, right, how do I click to the next slide? Here we go. There we go. This is actually the book that I got quite a bit of my information from. It's an old book in my library and have to pull it out. And this is the gentleman that actually invented the backdoor inspection. You know what I mean? You know, the colonoscopy. This is the gentleman here, Dr. Hiromi Shinya, that actually discovered the backdoor inspection. So I want to say this, that I read this book probably 15 plus years ago. And I probably absorbed and was on the same page with probably 95% of what he taught. As I reread it recently, I found that I'm only on board with about 45% of what he's teaching. But the 45% is right on. So what's interesting is, as your knowledge increases or your experience of the knowledge increases, then you will have to revalue your mindset and revalue what you've believed. And very interesting. So I'm going to talk about the things that are right on about Hiromi Shinya. And because he has a wonderful story, and he actually created that backdoor inspection because he had a personal experience in his life, and he had to discover that the Oriental digestive system is shorter, and the tissue is thinner than the American digestive system. So when an Oriental person comes to the United States and adapts our sad American diet, they don't fare very well. And they actually, problems with their digestion shows up earlier than with the Americans. And it shows up earlier because, again, their digestive system is shorter and their tissue is actually thinner than our tissue. So you ever heard of, are you thick? You must be thick-skinned because you can handle a lot of darts in your back, you know? Well, that's actually a true statement, even for your biology and your body chemistry, is that every culture has its weakness and every culture has its strengths. And so Hiromi Shinya actually lost his wife to some of these digestive issues that she started developing. And he tried to figure out what's going on here, because you were just fine when we ate the Japanese foods and the Japanese lifestyle. And we come here and it's a lot of fast food and a lot of different kinds of foods. And all of a sudden she develops polyps in her, and then cancer. And then it rolled into, she passed. And then he discovered that his child that he was going to have to raise, which was young, started developing diarrhea and different things. And that is what drove him to figure out, okay, if I could inspect the back door, if I could just see what's going on in the back door, maybe I could save some lives. And so that's the idea behind his book and behind what he wrote here about the power of enzymes. Now, we have a right to be healthy. I'm going to give quotes from his book. We have a right to be healthy. It's natural to be healthy. You know, sometimes you'll get in a group of people where they talk about how many meds that they're on and how many procedures, almost like they're wearing it as a coat of armor or a badge, you know. And it's almost like it's a normal thing to be on 3 or more meds. It's a normal thing to have 3 or 4 surgeries in your lifetime. But actually, in reality, just like Hiromi Shinya says, what's normal is healthy. And you have a right to be healthy and live in a state of health. And only the body can heal itself. He said it in his book. He said, I realized after all those thousands of backdoor inspections that he did, that only the body can heal itself. And then he went on to say, we must create a space for that healing to happen, though. So there's something that has to happen. You have to create a space for healing to happen. It doesn't just happen like snap your fingers, let's do some magic going on here. And another thing is you have to change the way you treat disease. So we know by coming to other classes that over 80-95% of the chronic illnesses that we're facing here in America are reversible, or can be reversed through your body's own healing mechanism, inborn healing mechanism. And so drugs cannot fundamentally cure disease. The only fundamental path to a cure for any illness lies in our daily lifestyle. This is quotes from the doctor who invented the backdoor inspector. Inspector Glasaw here. Can you imagine being the first one that signed up for the test of, all right, snap, snap, are you ready? Chai, chop, chop. So these are quotes after he had inspected all these thousands and thousands when a person's gastrointestinal systems are clean. So he discovered that disease starts in the colon. How many times have we heard that? And here's a professional doctor who's inspected thousands of colons, who invented that backdoor inspection process, saying that all disease, all these chronic type diseases, it starts in the colon. So he said, if we can clean up the colon, then we can actually prevent, by your own body's admission, something setting up house in your gastrointestinal, because I talk to people quite often, and they'll say, well, I have bone cancer, but bone cancer doesn't start in the bone. Did you know that? That most bone cancer starts in the colon. And so they'll come back and go, oh my goodness, my doctor did say that this cancer started in the colon. Wow. And then he also says, that person's body is able to fight off disease no matter what type, as long as you pay attention to this one part of your body called your gastrointestinal. Woo! Big long word, but wow. So the body works as a whole system. So we have to consider the big picture. And we have to understand that there's a big picture going on here. You know, the old song that the elbow bone's connected to the shoulder bone's connected to the neck bone, the backbone's connected to. Well, we should be singing those songs at all universities where our doctors are, like learning to be educated for becoming medical doctors. They should be over the intercoms singing that song every single day to let them know, okay, they're going to be a specialist in this area, this area, this area. But unless they understand the body as a whole, that's why we call holistic versus allopathic. There's your philosophy difference. Is allopathic mean that the knee specialist only looks at the knee, or the eye specialist only looks at the eye, or the skin specialist only looks at the skin, or the gastrointestinal doctor only looks at the gastrointestinal, or the heart doctor only looks at the heart. But when you look at the holistically, you see that, wait a minute, the digestion plays a part in the skin. And the digestion actually plays a part in all kinds of factors. And that's what Hiroshi Shinya actually discovered, is your gastrointestinal plays a whole part in the entire mechanism of your health. High enzyme repairs the body's cells. So in other words, the more enzymes you have active being released in your body, the more repair is going to be going on. Now, I don't know about you, but When I sent my vehicle recently to be repaired because the alternator went blue, then I was told, get on a waiting list. And it sat in there for 2 weeks and then 2.5 weeks until you get the part. And then, okay, then you got to get the right mechanic that works on that right type of car and vehicle, right? So imagine your body that needs a repair job. And then your body's told, well, hold off. We haven't received any vitamins and nutrients or any enzymes yet in order to do the repair job. So you're going to have to go in the back door or the back room, which is the holding tank, until we get everything lined up to get this repair job done. Now imagine that. So this is what's going on inside the body if it doesn't have enough enzymes to actually do, because these are part of the major tools that the body needs for repairs. So take part in all actions. Enzymes take part in all actions necessary to maintain life, such as synthesis, band, decomposition, transportation, excretion, detoxification. It even helps supply energy at the cell level. There are more than 5,000 kinds of these vital enzymes that are created in our cells in our bodies. A lot of these enzymes your body makes, and for whatever reason, we'll talk about those reasons that happen that actually causes the body to not make the amount of enzymes necessary for the repairs to be done. And then it says, then we have the enzymes that comes from our food, and each one has a special function. So each one has a special function. So what depletes these enzymes? Well, life, folks, stress, processed foods, toxins in our food, toxins in our water, a sluggish detox pathway. You have 5 different detox pathways. And if any one of them gets blocked up or sluggish, oh my goodness, and that can deplete your enzymes. Stress, alcohol, drugs, all drugs are alien to the body. By the way, I got that quote from this doctor right here, so don't write me any nasty text. So if you're taking a prescription medication, just remember you're taking little aliens into your body. All right. So, and unfortunately, with age, your body declines in the amount of enzymes that it makes every single day. So you see this apple. Apples have enzymes naturally in them. Those enzymes keep that apple plush and juicy, but with age, and every time, let's say they radiate the apple or they inject it with antibiotics and do all this stuff to the apple, it actually destroys that living part of that apple, which is an enzyme that you need to help for digestion of that apple. So what stimulates the DNA to make enzymes? Enzymes actually stimulates the DNA. So let's take a look at positive emotional energy. Wow! Having a positive attitude every day can actually stimulate enzymes. They actually, it was the Japanese that did this study showing about a positive mental attitude cranked up enzymes releasing in the body just from a positive mental outlook. And how about this one? Love. I'm telling you, love does what? Covers a multitude of wrong actions. Love is the paramount in Corinthians, where it talks about you can be all this, but if you forget the love factor, you've missed the whole purpose and meaning. And so love has a powerful action that helps produce enzymes and releases enzymes inside the body. Joy and laughter actually releases enzymes in the body. Live life with passion. A person having meaning every day. A person having purpose every single day. When you wake up in the morning and you have it's not same old. Oh, you're going to be nasty to customers or wherever you're working, or you're going to be angry and nasty to everybody because you're miserable, and you're going to make everybody else miserable in your pathway that day. I guarantee you, you're shutting down your body's ability to make enzymes to repair your brain cells and repair the lining of your gut. Awaken the potential. So in other words, enzymes, they have starter packs. They have potential. Just like you come with starter packs with powerful packages of potential. But unless you open those packages and release that potential, so in other words, enzymes have potential to become great things in your body, healing mechanisms in your body. So when the potential is exhausted, then guess what happens? Life comes to an end. When your enzymes come to an end and you no longer have potential, then your life comes to an end. Wow. So how important is it for us to generate these enzymes every single day? Really powerfully important. Wherever there's life, enzymes always exist. Wow. Yes, Julie.
Also, music is really, really important.
I love that. Yes, Julie brought out music because that brings joy. That brings laughter. That brings love. It brings calmness. Yes, it's a. Yes. Yeah, see, you're releasing enzymes every time, the potential. And so here's some foods to the right here that actually have live enzymes in them: pineapple, sprouts, papaya, and raw nuts. So let's go on. Roles enzymes play. We have many enzymes in our body starting with our saliva. You ever wondered why a dog has so much saliva, especially what are those dogs that they drool all the time? You look at it, they just drool, and they go up to a window and they're just smeared all that. No, they're not a Saint Bernard, but another one. Bulldogs or boxers. It's boxers. Boxers are slobber dogs. All right. So God intended for boxers to have lots of slobber so that they can actually break down their food. So every time you see a dog with saliva coming down, it's because they're getting ready to chew and digest food. Now, if I were to sit here and tell you, I fried chicken today, oh my goodness, I rolled it, I marinated it, I rolled it in pecan flour and some other flour with all my spices. I fried it in bacon fat and butter, and it was crispy. Okay, how many here their mouth is beginning to water? And then I fried it 5 minutes on each side to get that crispy brown outside. Then I pulled it out of the frying pan and put it in a dish, and I put it in the oven for about 45 minutes to finish cooking. It's crispy, crunchy, buttery, and very moist. Okay, we'll do that one time. I'll give you the recipe for that. But enzymes are specialized proteins that are produced by living cells to catalyze reactions in the body's breakdown. So in other words, every single day you're breaking down, right? And then you build it up. So it's according to how many enzymes we got going on, flowing around, as to how we build back up after we break down. Theory. Now, mind you, Hiromi Shinya actually brought this theory to the table based upon his research of thousands of backdoor inspections. So it's potential enzyme. So you have an enzyme that starts as a potential to become a complete repair kit for brain cells, or complete repair kit for stomach lining cells, or complete repair kit for eye cells. And it can give rise to these 5,000 specialized enzymes, depending on if you have the right nutritional package going on in your body at that time, if you're playing the right music, or if you're around the right people that lift you up and not put you down. They play a pivotal role in the body's ability to heal itself. And so this is amazing. That's why Shimmick call it the enzyme factor and the miracle of enzymes. So let's talk about one thing that's in our water supply that destroys enzymes. Fluoride destroys enzymes. Chlorine destroys enzymes. And it does other things too, but these are some toxins that are found in our water that destroy enzymes in our body. Pesticides, bacteria, chlorine, and added hormones and pharmaceutical medications and arsenic and lead and all of those things, when they enter the body, they actually they put a seal or a cap on the potential enzyme to repair. So we need to find a filter for our water, or our body becomes the filter. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my body to be the filter. So I have to get a filter at point of entry into my household. And so what are enzymes and what do they do? Enzymes, again, are protein molecules made up of, there's that wonderful word, amino acids. Amino acids, yes, amino acids. There is the starter kit for your enzymes, are amino acids. How many years heard about amino acids? Yay. Biologically catalyst increases the speed of chemical reactions. How fast do you want to repair? How much do you want to repair? How often do you want to repair? Well, this is all going to depend upon how many amino acids you got running around in your body every day. So specific, each one to one particular reaction, they are reusable and they're affected by the body's pH systems. Now, how many of you know that when your mouth goes into saliva, that's the first amylases actually released to break down some of the foods in the mouth, and that as it travels down the esophagus and into the stomach, then the pH begins to change. And it begins to be not alkaline, but acidic. And we're going to talk more about that. That as it travels through the small intestines and then the transverse and then into the large intestines, the colon, then the pH begins to change and get a higher pH. So it depends upon your body's pH systems as to how those chemical actions are going to react with those amino acids and creating and making enzymes. To catabolic enzymes, which break down large molecules into smaller molecules, digestion of starch, enzymes, amylase, glucose, anabolic enzymes, which build up. So we know that catabolic is break down, anabolic is build up, and then production of glucose during photosynthesis from carbon dioxide, water, and light. So these are all mechanisms of nature that our body is using on a daily basis. That's why the 9 best doctors, I won't go into it, is one of them is Dr. Sunshine and Dr. Air. And so enzymes and activation energy, chemical reactions take place when particular particles collide with enough energy. So in other words, they've got to have Julie, like a song and dance in the body. So they've got to have that rhythm. They've got to have that perfect timing. They've got to have that perfect temperature. And in order to swing the do-si-do and then fit the need and then do the repair job. So the minimum amount of energy required is called activation energy. And enzymes lower the amount of activation energy required so the reaction can proceed to a greater rate. So in other words, it's like a dance. Structure of the enzyme molecule, you can actually see the structure here is it's actually has like a lock and a key. So an enzyme which has a potential to fit, to become the key that fits into that complete to form a molecule for repair. Enzymes are proteins made up of long chains of amino acids. These long chains fold and produce a special shape, which is vital to enzyme function. So there's your activated site there. So just waiting for something to plug in that perfect fit, to be the perfect fit. So enzymes in digestion, enzymes break down large insoluble food molecules into smaller, soluble ones, which can be absorbed through the small intestines wall, enter into the bloodstream. So you can see the process here of digestion, and you can see how the pH has to change from the mouth, which it starts in the mouth because enzymes are released in your saliva, the first set of enzymes, and then as it travels down through the stomach, esophagus to stomach, but your liver plays a part, your gallbladder plays a part, your pancreas plays a part. And then different parts of the digestive tract have different pH conditions to enable different enzymes to work. So in other words, every enzyme that has a potential has to play this song and dance out with everything being perfectly lined up in place in order for it to produce a repair on a certain tissue in the body. So the main groups of digestive enzymes are lipase enzymes, digest fatty substrates. The actual part of the enzyme that goes in, the potential that fits into that perfect pocket, like a key into a lock, is called a substrate. And after it fits perfect, then it produces the product. It's called the product. Oh, now we have a product, kind of like an assembly line or production. Protease, system. Enzymes digest protein substrates, and carbohydrates, enzymes digest carbohydrate substrates. So each one plays a role, each one knows its role at its place, and each one does it perfectly as long as the body agrees and has enough nutrients and has enough of those potential enzymes from amino acids to start the ball and process rolling. Then, so let's take, for instance, a substrate, enzyme, product, where enzymes produce an optimal pH. So the starch is the substrate, amylase is the enzyme, the product is going to be glucose. So in other words, that amylase is going to turn starch into glucose in the body. Now, it starts with the salivary glands and the pancreas, and the pH has to be a 7. How about protein, protease, amino acids, the stomach, pancreas, small intestines, and the pH has to be a 3, which is acidic, right? So anything opposite of the 7 is acidic. 7 is neutral, and anything beyond 7, 7.3, 7.5, 7.8 is going to be alkaline. So the temperature, or the pH, I will have to say, has to be perfect for you to digest protein. And you have to have this amino acid present to digest this protein. Lipids just simply means fats. And so I love my fats. I survive on good quality fats, and I need lipases to digest and break down those fat molecules into tiny little lipids for it to process through my body. Fatty acids and glycerol, and the pH has to be higher. See how the pH has to be higher. So there's a lot, like the symphony that goes on inside the body. And with that symphony, everything has to be perfectly aligned. And how many here got up this morning and had to calculate our body's pH in every aspect? How many here got up this morning and had to count how many enzymes that went down the chute and was released out of this, part of the body and that part of the, nobody. This is all automatic. according to how you treat your body, your environment, and what you put in your body as your food. So the action of the bile, all right? So where do you get your bile? Your liver produces bile, and your gallbladder is a storage house for that bile. And bile is part of those powerful enzymes that are going to break down those fats and break down those proteins. So it produces by the liver and is stored in the gallbladder, squirts into the small intestines. If you do not have your gallbladder, you're in trouble. And you need to be taking a beta-zyme every single day for the rest of your life. This right here could be your best friend. Why? Because it's going to do the work that your gallbladder used to do. And if there's no gallbladder present, then the liver squirts it out into the cavity of the body because the organ is missing. It's the container sac and it's missing. So then that's going to create a problem. So it's alkaline to neutralize acidic chyme coming into the stomach. It emulsifies fats to break them into smaller droplets, which increases the surface area of the lipase enzymes to work. So in other words, breaking them down into very small particulate is really, really important. So what are enzymes made of? Again, amino acids. If you don't, one thing I want y'all to walk away from tonight is enzymes are amino acids. Yeah, most enzymes containing between 100 to 1,000 amino acids that you need in order to actually make up all these 5,000 enzymes that play a part. So these amino acids are joined together in long chain, which is folded. We talked about in 3D structures. So in other words, the chain comes around, fits that perfect pocket, and becomes a product of repair. Wonderful. Here's another picture that I liked. I wanted to show you. Picture says 1,000 words here. They are catalysts that speed up the rate of metabolism. So if I've also known some that are having a difficult time, let's say dropping unwanted pounds, sometimes when we add the enzymes to the picture, their digestive system starts functioning better. And when their digestive system starts functioning better, then they start, the metabolism begins to release the unwanted pounds or fats. The diagram illustrates a generalized picture of how enzymes work. The substrate represents the substance being changed to create the end product. So again, everything has to fit, everything has to have the right pH, everything has to have the first, the starter kit, the potential kit to be released to go out and repair. So enzymes are vital to life. When you agree, without life, you don't, when you don't have enzymes present, you won't have life.
Right.
So the more enzymes that we can keep functioning and releasing in our body, then it will keep us in a vital state longer. So enzymes carry out proper metabolic functions, cellular and tissue specific level. Different enzymes are produced for special actions in their amino acid sequence. Some enzymes need coenzymes. So here we go with the family. Because you got enzymes, then you got coenzymes. Oh my goodness. These are co-nutrients. These are partners in the repair shop that work hand in hand with amino acids and with the other enzymes. They assist in carrying out their function. And these are where vitamins and minerals come into play. Because if that potential can't link up with vitamin D, vitamin C, different nutrients, especially minerals, then it's not going to be able to fit in that substrate and produce the product of repair, right? So if someone is deficient in any one of these vital vitamins and minerals needed to carry out the enzymatic reactions, then the enzyme will not be able to function properly and pathological conditions may occur. This actually came from Hiromi Shinya's book. Wow. So let's take a look at some of those nutrients that are necessary to be present in the body. Are your nutrient levels supportive of optimal enzyme function? When your body lacks digestive enzymes, it can't digest or absorb nutrients properly. Have you ever had anybody say, I take their salmon oil and I burp it up and it causes digestive issues for me? You know what that tells me right away? That they don't have the enzymes they need to digest their lipids. Remember the protease? They need the enzymes to digest the fats, because what is salmon oil? It's 100% cholesterol. It's 100% fat. So let's outline some of the metabolic processes that vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, selenium, and copper participate in. So let's take a look at that. Neolife vegan, I would say Vega, forgot the N, D to the rescue, because vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, right? And it binds to vitamin D receptors on target tissue, like your bones, your kidneys, and it helps regulate calcium absorption. That is why Neolife's D is always in the calcium 2-to-1 ratio of calcium, magnesium, and 1,000 units of D. Immune function, but how many are vitamin D plays a big part in immune function. Insulin sensitivity. Oh my goodness. Cellular proliferation and differentiation. Vitamin D requires several enzymes. What? You mean vitamin D requires enzymes to be converted into its various forms so it can hit the target, right? So it can hit the target and make the product. And some of these conversions require magnesium. That is why I say, well, why are calcium, magnesium, and D come together just like a love symphony and perfect ratios. So you can see here that the conversions require magnesium to present its co-nutrients, sufficient vitamin D levels to help reduce the risk of what? We've seen some studies showing 78% reduction in breast cancer when you have enough vitamin D levels in the body functioning. And it might be because you're low in enzymes. And so the vitamin D can't be broken down to fit the target cell to protect and boost the immune system like vitamin D is supposed to do. Breast cancer, colon cancer, autoimmune diseases, allergies, cold, flu, osteoporosis, inflammation, mental health disorders, imbalances of the gut microbiome. These vitamin D plays an important role in all of these. And again, it plays an important role of being present so enzymes can be made in order for vitamin D to hit the target. Now, how about vitamin A? Vitamin A, your mucosa lining membranes. Now, here's the reason why your gut is your immune system. Plays about 70+% of your immune sits in your gut, because your gut biome, which is your lining, which is your mucosa lining of your gut, actually is the motherboard for the lining of your ear, nose, and throat, the lining of your stomach, the lining of your esophagus, the lining of your bladder, the lining of your kidneys, the lining of your lungs, the lining of your cardiovascular system. It's the motherboard. So if the gut is off, then so are the other linings going to get wrong messages. And so the mucosa lining receptors have the highest amount need for vitamin A. That's why I always tell people for ear, nose, and throat, vitamin A, vitamin A, vitamin A, because you have your most receptors for vitamin A in your ear, nose, and throat. And here you have protecting all the mucosa lining membranes of your eyes, your trachea, your stomach, your ear, nose, and throat. This is why if you feel like you've got something, let's say, attacking your immune system, hit it with some A, C, and E. Vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Yes. And then The magnesium difference. Magnesium is an essential mineral that serves as a cofactor. Again, these are cofactors that enzymes have to pair up in that dance of life. There are over 300 enzymatic reactions that magnesium plays to make sure that the potential meets the substrate and ends in the perfect product. Wow, this is amazing when you see all that is necessary to happen, but all you got to have is enough vitamin D, enough magnesium, enough nutrients in the body to everybody be at attention so they can all participate in the role of repair. So muscle, nerve function, blood pressure, regulation, blood glucose levels. Magnesium helps enzymes utilize ATP. ATP is your energy factory, your cellular energy factory, a chemical in all living organisms that provides energy. ATP depends reactions such as glucose metabolism, activation of proteins, transportation of ions across intracellular membranes. All that means is that enzyme plays a part in the activity of magnesium plays a part in the activity of enzymes completing their job of repair. And magnesium plays a part on over 300 of those chemical actions. So it plays a pretty big role, doesn't it? How about zinc? Wait a minute. Zinc plays a role of 3,000. You're going from 300 to 3,000 different roles that zinc plays in creating enzymes in the body for repairing, building up, breaking down food, building up energy, breaking down food, building up energy. Zinc is an essential trace mineral found in every tissue of the body. Every tissue of the body? You don't need a lot of zinc. You really don't. And you don't need zinc from rocks made from China. You need zinc from a living whole food source. This mineral is found in every tissue of the body, acts as a cofactor to roughly 3,000 protein and enzymes, and is vital for maintaining health. Zinc is involved in protein synthesis, DNA synthesis. You mean zinc repairs DNA? Zinc repairs DNA. Immune function, antioxidant defense systems, and cell division. This is why in the arena of sterility, someone that is not able to conceive, we always tell them, get on zinc and not the rocks from China. Get on a real whole food zinc. Why? Because it plays a role in cell division. It actually strengthens the sperm and strengthens the egg. Superoxide dismutase, an enzyme responsible for breaking down reactive oxygen species, is one of the many enzymes that depends on zinc. And let's take a look at the role of copper in this. For proper function, therefore, zinc deficiency can lead to increased risks of oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Wow. And again, you don't need a lot of zinc. Just enough on a daily basis to make sure they're standing and present, ready to make those enzymes, complete those enzymes for your repair. All right. So let's take a look at the next one is multi-min. Why? Because multi-min has over 84 trace minerals in it. You're covering all your bases. I love our multi-min. Copper is an essential mineral that assists in the formation of collagen. Now, in all this collagen hype, how many here have heard that copper plays a role in the formation of collagen? We know that amino acids play a role, right? We know that vitamin C plays a role, right? But we do know minerals play a role in the production of collagen too. Copper, and therefore influences heart, blood vessels, function, skin integrity, wound healing, bone strength. As a matter of fact, copper is a cofactor for cytochrome C oxidase, an enzyme critical in energy production.
I got
All
a
right.
whole testimony about that.
All right. It is also involved in superoxide dismutase function. At about 95% of copper in the blood is bound to ceruloplasmin, an enzyme that transports copper and decreases oxidative stress by reducing iron to its most stable form. If somebody has an iron displacement in their body, it's because they're lacking copper. That is why, how many have seen any of my pictures? I drink from a real copper mule train mug. That is why I want to get my copper. Remember when we used to cook with copper kettles and tea and coffee, copper pans that, you know, talking about great grandma here, copper. And many times they sell you a copper bracelet and things like that because they were getting their what were the pots and pans? Cast iron and copper. So copper regulated the iron so that you don't have an iron abundance over iron abundance. Copper keeps iron in check so that you don't have iron running around in the blood with nowhere to go, no direction, confused, chaos. And copper will actually escort it where it needs to go.
Kind of like vitamin E.
Vitamin E, absolutely. So our multimin has copper in it. It's got all 84 trace minerals, and you don't need a lot, by the way. You don't need a lot of copper. You just need a little of the good stuff every single day. So I love our stress pack because our stress pack has selenium, copper, your B's in it. But I love the selenium role because selenium plays a role in your enzymatic actions in your body and how your body's making enzymes, cofactor, coenzymes in order to get the repair job done. Selenium is an essential trace element that plays a key role in thyroid function. What? This is why I tell people, stack on the stress pack if you have thyroid issues. Why? Because it's got 3,333% of the great fabulous. Actually, I'm wrong on that one. It has an amount of selenium. If somebody can tell me, look it up and tell me how much selenium is in the stress pack. And it has a high amount of, I think, B1 in it. Selenium is incorporated into proteins called selenoproteins like glutathione peroxidase, which is a natural in body-made antioxidant and a potent antioxidant responsible for catalyzing the reproduction of hydrogen peroxide into water. So it actually diffuses any damage that can be done with oxidation. So it slows down, you don't rust as fast. It slows down the rust factor on the inside. And who was it, John? You were, Mary Jo said, I sent her up there to the doctor that is Richard's doctor, and the doctor just told her, honey, you just got rust in your eyes. And that's what the doctor told her. You just got some rust in your eyes. Well, that just simply means didn't have enough copper, didn't have enough zinc, didn't have enough nutrients to produce those enzymes to repair and clean up the rust.
It actually doesn't say the amount.
It should.
Selenium.
In the stress pack?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. I'll check it later. Selenium is vital for the activation of enzymes and therefore assist in reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. I believe it has quite a bit of selenium in there. An enzyme responsible for regulating thyroid hormone, activating thyroid hormones is also dependent on selenium. Selenium deficiency is greater in people with high levels of oxidative stress. So if you're under a lot of stress, you're most likely somewhat deficient in selenium. Why? Because and all the research I've read,
Hold on.
every person with breast cancer is selenium deficient.
Okay, let's see.
Every
180%.
Cancer.
60 mcgs.
all right.
No,
So
180.
Deborah says it has 160 micrograms of selenium.
290%.
It's 290% of your daily. Again, you don't need a lot, but
Oh,
you
and
need
it's
enough.
I found it on.
You
the
need
website.
enough to make a difference. So I love the stress pack. The Pro Vitality has selenium in it also, but the stress pack has some extra punch of selenium, an extra punch of minerals, and those micro minerals and the B vitamins to help support during a stressful time. So, okay, Deborah's got it over here for me and showing that the selenium, oh, it's the zinc, and guess how much? It's got 45 milligrams of zinc, 160 micrograms of selenium, that is actually, and chromium. And so I love the fact that it has that formula that helps to support your enzymes in the body. Because when you're under stress, remember, some of the things that that hinder and oppress your enzymes from becoming its full potential is stress. And I love that. And okay, and I'm looking here to see. All right. If you look over and see the B vitamins are very, very high in B vitamins, and it has iron in it, but not a lot of iron. And as Deborah said, it's 290% of your daily value on that selenium. Thank you. And so inflammatory disease, cardiovascular, thyroid hormone function, selenium plays a role in this. So when you're low in selenium, then you're high risk in the thyroid being attacked. When you're low in iodine, and remember when I showed the slide of the water? All right, the fluoride attacks the thyroid and blocks selenium, blocks iodine, blocks the magnesium, the minerals, from actually bonding to the thyroid receptors and nurturing the thyroid to keep it healthy. So that's why it's important to filter your water, especially the fluoride and the chlorine out. Functions of systematic enzymes: natural anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrosis, blood cleansing, immune system modulating, virus fighting, metabolic regulating. Oh my goodness. Is there anything that enzymes don't do in the body? No, they do a lot, and they do it powerfully every single day. And do we have to think about it? All right, enzyme, coenzyme, get together. No, you just have to remember to take your enzymes and your nutrients. So the top 10 benefits of digestive enzymes: reduce stress on digestive system, reduce inflammation in the gut, improves digestion of food, increases nutrient assimilation from meals, supports healthy microbiome of balance, reduces food sensitivities and allergies, that big thing called leaky gut syndrome that's rolling around all the internet right now, improves the body's immune response, improves cellular energy production, helpful for reducing autoimmunity, improves skin and tissue healing. So who doesn't want to improve all of those top 10 improvements by just simply adding some digestive enzymes to the mix? Wow. Oh my goodness. So enzymes, good for intestinal health. Remember, your immune system sits in your gut, your gastrointestinal health. And it's the modulator, it's the motherboard for the rest of your body. Mucosa lining of everything from your eyes to your ear, nose, and throat, all through your body. So enzymes may help with irritable bowel syndrome, bloating, diarrhea, yeast infections, candida, heartburn, acid reflux, poor digestion, food allergies, sensitive stomachs, malnourishment, parasites, indigestion, and gas collection. Oh my goodness. I mean, these enzymes and the enzymes that your body has to digest the food is amazing and produces all of this abundance of health and balance to the body. It's amazing. So again, I've already shown this one to you once, but I want you to see it in several different charts so it kind of sticks in the mind. So your mouth is salivary, which releases amylase to break down starches into glucose, right? And then the stomach, it's pepsin, breaks down proteins, large peptides. Small intestines, here comes the amylase again, continues to break down that starch into glucose. Then trypsin continues to break down the protein, lipase that breaks down the fat, small intestines, maltase, sucrase, lactase. Remember, if you're lactose intolerant, you lack lactase. Breaks down remaining disaccharides into monosaccharides, all right, two into many. That just means two into many. Peptides breaking down into two peptides into, there you go, here comes the amino acids again. Amazing, amazing manufacturing cycle that's built into your body. And you don't have to think about any of this every single day. You just have to think about what you're eating, how you're treating, what environment you're in, and if you're taking enough whole human food nutrients in the body to assist the body. So here you see amylase, digest carbs, protease, meat, lipase, fats, papain it's usually from papaya and pineapple. Taking digestive enzymes will remarkably improve your digestive stomach conditions. It's estimated 300 to 400 billion bacteria enter with every meal. Did you ever think about that one? Especially if you're going to Golden Corral or Mr. Fred's. If you're in a buffet, I guarantee you that number of 400 billion bacteria is rising. If you eat out, I guarantee you.
Plastic gloves they give you.
Oh my goodness, Deborah, no. Have you ever heard of Montezuma's Revenge? Where people go over the border into Mexico and they eat and they don't think about what they're eating and drinking, and then they come back with diarrhea for days. All right, so we're going to learn about what we can do to protect that. Insufficient stomach acid makes it hard to absorb minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium. So here, when somebody has osteoporosis, the first thing I look at is poor digestion, because we're not absorbing it from the first step right here in the stomach. You're not getting enough hydrochloric acid to break down those amazing minerals. Wow. Taking antacids results in mucosal atrophy and gastritis. Did your doctor ever tell you that taking Pepcid and taking the purple pill and taking all this stuff, even over-the-counter stuff, is going to result in digestive atrophy? I got that from the doctor that invented the backdoor inspection. He actually saw from inspecting thousands and thousands of colons that when people take these digestive aids, prescription and non-prescription digestive aids, that they actually create a paresis in the digestion. They thin the layer of the digestion, making it more susceptible to bacteria. As a matter of fact, H. pylori infection increases 50% after the age of 50. My.
What is the definition of pylori?
It's a bacteria. It's just the name of a bacteria that sets itself up and begins to set itself up on lining of your stomach because you didn't have sufficient amounts of hydrochloric acid, which is in that dark red tablet right there, in order to kill it. So it starts growing. It's in an environment that it starts growing because the pH is off. Remember, the stomach needs to be a 1 to a 3 pH in order for that valve to shut, so you don't get acid reflux. And so I tell everybody, if you're going to travel, please, please don't eat any meals or drink any water without taking this right here, because you're going to raise the level of hydrochloric acid to kill any of these bacteria that you're getting from eating out. So every time you eat out, you need to make sure you pack these in your purse at all times. And don't be stingy about it. Give them to everybody at the table, because you'll have a customer for life. Because the next morning they'll say, oh my goodness, I felt so good. And let me tell you, my bowel movement was smooth as can be. Because you had the proper digestion and the proper hydrochloric acid levels in the stomach and proper enzymes in the gut in order to digest it, so no bacteria sets up a household in your lining of the stomach or your lining of the small intestines or the large intestines. It goes right out. It's destroyed and it's flushed out. So yes, what does that tell you? If it increases 50% after the age of 50, that means your hydrochloric acid levels are decreasing, right? After the age of 50, right?
What is the name of that product?
It is called Betazyme, Betazyme.
Okay.
And so after the age of 50, would it be because we've lived a lifestyle of fast food? We eat foods without live enzymes in them. This is one of the reasons why one of the studies that they did with prisons, because everybody in prison gets H. pylori or stomach ulcers. Did you know that every time you go to the hospital, they automatically give you the purple pill, acid reflux meds? It's a standard procedure because they assume anecdotally that everyone that's in there is going to be so stressed out that they're going to get stomach ulcers. Yes. So taking sufficient amounts of hydrochloric acid will actually kill that bacteria so it doesn't set up house. Now, if you already have, this is just a little tip, if you already have an open ulcer in the stomach, you do not need to take this. You need to heal the ulcer first with zinc, a wet skin tissue healer. You need zinc, especially zinc. You need the pink ones, the enzyme. And you need to be eating a diet of bone broth and juicing and things like that to heal that ulcer first, because you don't want to be adding any kind of acid to the lining that's already raw. So what they did to the men in prisons is they gave them cabbage juice. Had to be drunk within a few seconds upon the machine making it, because the enzymes, when exposed to the air, all right, are oxidized. So they drank it quickly and it cured everyone in the prisons ulcers. Why? Because the enzymes were fresh and were in that cabbage juice. So that's another tip. If you have an open ulcer, drink cabbage juice. Drink it right away.
Yeah, lots of butter.
Yes, yes, yes. And two, there are recipes that you can slightly cook cabbage. Again, because you've got to chew that cabbage and chew that kale. So enzymes, nutrient absorption, longevity, food particles are large. They need to be broken down into small. Otherwise, you're going to get food allergies because they're going to pass into the bloodstream without being broken down through the digestive system. And that's what causes food allergies. So plant amylase added 12 seconds in digestion. You can see how they're small. They break down that larger particle into smaller particles. Within 23 seconds and within 35 seconds of adding amylase right here, you can see that the body is ready to absorb these nutrients and to break down properly the starch, the carbs, the fats, and the proteins. So again, your salivary glands, the teeth assist them. Do you know that Dr. Shinya advises to chew 70 times every mouthful? I don't know about you, but I am not going to be chewing my food 70 times every mouthful. Why? I'd be sitting at dinner for 3 hours because I eat a lot. So you know what? I take one of these and say, good, it's done. All right, go to work, Enzyme. Break her down, baby. And I might chew it, sufficient for me to swallow. Obviously, I'm not a Rottweiler, but
Depends on what we're eating.
it depends upon what we're eating. So he suggests 70 times. Oh my goodness. That's a mouthful of kale. Or
Because he's looked at it at the other end.
I know he's looked at it at the other end. Oh my goodness. So yeah. And who's gonna sit down at their meal and chew 70 times per mouthful? Now my father would. My father was the first one at the table and the last one to leave, and we call him the chipmunk because he put a pocket here and a pocket here, and he'd switch them out. And he'd go, all right, got 35 going here, 35 there. All right, time to shift. Okay, switch shifts, until he got at least 70 in before he swallowed. Oh my goodness. And we used to sit and laugh at our dad. Oh my goodness. But you know what?
He was
smart. He knew exactly, because he didn't know to run to Meal Life and getting some enzymes. So he just simply says, all right, it's chewing time. So digestive juices, again, starts the salivary glands, hydrochloric acid, pepsin, protease. That's exactly what's in this here. Liver bile, pancreatic juices. Hey, listen, pancreatic cancer's on the rise. It's devastating. I'm telling you, it breaks my heart to hear how many people have pancreatic cancer today. Yeah, if you start digesting your food and creating the enzymes to repair the damage, it is backed up toxins that causes the pancreas to fall into deficit of disease. So let's take a look at that beta gest, which is the dark capsules in the betazyme. And the stomach, the target is the stomach. It has your hydrochloric acid levels, 100% plant-sourced acid, stable enzymes that break down protein and lactose, addresses causes of indigestion, not just symptoms. I love this because it addresses causes, not just symptoms. And I'm going to have several of y'all come on up here and give a testimony afterwards. Addresses causes and maximizes digestion potential. There's that potential word again. Because you want to have that potential enzyme to follow through and meet its product, produce its product. And its product is going to be a healthier, more energized you. So here, absorption of nutrients. Again, remember that if you hydrochloric acid levels are low, and if you're over 50, your hydrochloric acids levels are not what they were when you were 15 or 20 or 25 or 30 or 35 or 40 or 45. And so therefore we need a little assistance, especially with our standard American diet. If you're out at a restaurant and you're drinking the water, it's got chlorine in it. Do you know how it destroys hydrochloric acid in the stomach? It just destroys your hydrochloric acid in the stomach. Maximize your digestion and absorption of nutrients. Remember, poor hydrochloric acid levels will give you poor nutrient utilization of calcium, magnesium. These are what, makes up your bone structure. So let's take a look at enzymes, which is the pink capsule in the Betazyme. I'm just showing you the combo pack here, that you can get them conveniently in a combo pack, or you can order them individual bottles. But intestinal target. So the first one is stomach targeted. Now this is intestinal targeted. Potential broad spectrum natural source digestion enzymes, targeted delivery, and enteric coating. What does that mean? It means that it's got an amino acid protection, so it passes through the hydrochloric acid levels of the stomach, won't break down, and goes down into the small intestines. Oh my goodness, that football field, and then hits the colon. So as it travels down, and as your pH rises in your digestion, it's not breaking down till it's supposed to break down. I love that. Target delivery, enteric coated, addresses causes of intestinal indigestion, not just symptoms like bloating and gassy and cramping and diarrhea and constipation. All right, that's lower intestinal, issues. The stomach issues is burping and burning and acid reflux and those type of symptoms. So here is the combo pack here, convenient, naturally sourced plant enzymes. Do you know how we get our enzymes? We go to a pineapple. We go to a papaya. We go to beets, betaine, that's in the hydrochloric acid. We go to beets for that. We go to human whole food sources, and we juice extract it in an environment and in an nitrogen environment, so those enzymes are not oxidized. They're alive, they're real, and they go to work. And then we coat them with an enteric coating so that they actually are released specifically in spots in the body, so that that potential enzyme can reach its end product. Oh, I love it. I'm telling you, I don't eat one meal without a pack of enzymes. If I'm eating fats and proteins, especially. If I'm eating a light salad, I don't do it. But if I'm having fats and proteins, I make sure I am taking this package with my meal. So let's take a look at the protein shake. Why does a protein shake play a part in our enzymes? Because it's the foundation of the 22 amino acids. If it's the foundation of the 22 amino acids, which is what we need on a daily basis, right? Because you're nitrogen deficient every 24 hours. So if you're nitrogen deficient every 24 hours, you're using up those amino acids every 24 hours. They work a crew of amino acids every 24 hours. And so they link up as potential with coenzymes, enzymes, to make up all the 5,000 enzymes that are on the job ready to work. Do you know why the seal of accountability is important for your protein? But I want to camp out a minute on the ProtoGuard process, because we talked about that pineapple, papain, and the bromine from the pineapple and the papaya, papaina from the papaya. That is exactly where we get our enzymes for our protein shake. And we were the company that created and invented a simulated stomach as we juice extracted those nutrients and enzymes, digestive enzymes, into that simulated stomach, so we could see the natural breakdown that happens in the proper pH of your stomach, the proper temperature of the stomach, and then we freeze dry it and mill it up. So that is why on our ProtoGuard process that we get a PDCAAS score of a 1.73. because it's so pre-digested that you're going to get all 22 amino acids to go to work for you to help create those 5,000 enzymes. That is amazing. As a matter of fact, over 2,000 live enzymes are released in every mouthful of our protein shake when you add any liquid. 2,000. That is why if I tell people all the time, call the company, ask them what their PDCAA score is. And I had somebody do it the other day. And they go, well, they told me that it's proprietary information, or they're not allowed to give that score out. It's because they flunked the test. Because if it's not a 1 or above, it's going to damage your kidneys because it's not pre-digested. So they didn't get a high score, so they're not going to tell you what their score was. So our protein shake is remarkable. It's amazing. It's supplying 25 essential vitamins and minerals. It's supplying biologically complete all 22 amino acids. And with every mouthful is 2,000 live enzymes. Folks, I have tried protein shakes from here to yonder. I've tried the best, from near to far. And I have never had a protein shake that satisfies and doesn't upset my digestion. And this protein shake is in sync. It's in harmony with your digestion and with your body's needs for these 22 amino acids. It's got enzyme blends in it. All those enzymes we talked about already are in it. And all you have to do is add a liquid and they become alive. And you drink it. Amazing. Yes, I love it. Living water. So it's a meal replacement. It increases energy, focus, muscle growth, retention, weight loss, management, repair, and rebuild tissue. Why can we say our protein shake helps you repair and rebuild tissue? Because that's the role of what? Enzymes. That's the role of enzymes. And easy digestion. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be chewing my protein shake 70 times with every mouthful. It's already done. So somebody's already chewed it. That Rottweiler got a hold of it, chewed it. So all you got to do is swallow it. I mean, when's the last time you swallowed within 60 seconds 18 grams of protein? Huh? I do it. Look. Good. That protein shake was wonderful. See, you can do that when it's so pre-digested. Pre-digestion. Wow. Lipotropic adjunct. I want to give a shout out about this product because it also creates enzymes in the body. It breaks down those lipids. It's a liver assistant. And guess what? It's got betaine hydrochloric acid in it because you have to have the hydrochloric acid levels to assimilate B vitamins, especially B12 absorption. It's part of your metabolism. It's part of your absorption. It also has bioflavonoids, hesperidine. It is for circulation. It is for, it's got choline and inositol, which is a protector against, let's just say, some spike protein stuff going around. Inositol and choline are protectors for that.
So
They're cell.
B12 shots, they're not getting that. So that's one reason why that's so damaging.
Absolutely. Yes. Deborah was talking about, the difference in getting a B12 shot is an isolate and it's synthetic versus the entire family with the kissing cousins, inositol and choline. Vitally important. The research on inositol and choline for the brain is outstanding. It's amazing. So I want to talk, and as we wrap it up and do our testimonies, our breakfast solution, guess what? Contains lots of enzymes in them, contains the nutrients of the zinc and the selenium and the copper and the minerals and your anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, your 21 vitamins and minerals.
Wrong.
And oils that are gonna go to work on assisting and helping you to make these amazing nutrients. And these enzymes that are going to be repairing your body 24/7. Amazing, amazing. So let's take a look. I want to show you. You can find this in your back office, by the way, but I loved it. So N feeds your cells, enhances your energy. Good nutrition begins at the cellular level. N is the world's first and only whole grain lipid and sterile supplement proven to enhance energy and vitality by optimizing cellular nutrition uptake of 50%. Carotenoid complex protects cells, optimizing your immunity. This exclusive formula is the world's first and only whole food supplement clinically proven by USDA research to protect your heart, defend your cells, boost your immune system power. It provides a protective power of carotenoids, tomatoes, carrots, spinach, red bell pepper, strawberries, apricots, and peaches. Omegas, salmon oil, balance and regulate your cells, maximize good health, reduce inflammation, clinically proven to support heart and cardiovascular health. This pure and potent fish oil is complete with standardized amounts of all 8 omegas, screened for 200 potential contaminants with an allowable detection limit of 0. Let that stick in your mind. Allowance of 0. And then the fourth is essential vitamins and minerals 21, based in nature, over 50 years of nutritional expertise, blend of 21 essential vitamins. And I want you to see what's highlighted in yellow. And it says includes exclusive plant sourced enzymes to support digestion and absorption for critical nutrients. Now, let me tell you, if you're taking a supplement that is not from living whole foods, it does not have any enzymes, you're not going to absorb it. It's going to be detected by the liver as toxic and poison. I'm going to say that one more time. If you're taking a supplement that is not from living whole food nutrients with digestive enzymes, you're not going to absorb it. And your liver is going to detect it as a toxin because it's synthetic. Wow, there's your difference between living whole foods and synthetics. And the importance of, look, this company knew how important that your digestive enzymes had to be in your Pro Vitality. They put it automatically in Pro Vitality. Wow, amazing. So we're more than enough, more than a rival, over, above, beyond any standards and measurements, first rate, top notch, first class, greater, unsurpassed, unequaled by any company worldwide. It brings the heaviest impact of tools produced in a state of health for you and I. Wow. So I am going to stop screen share, and I'm going to have some testimonies come to the screen. We're going to share some testimonies tonight. Deborah wants to be the first to stand up and give a testimony about these amazing enzymes.
Hey, everybody. Yes, in 2010, I had my gallbladder removed, and I had a lot of digestive issues my whole life. I used to put the fire out with Pepto-Bismol. It was quick and fast, and but anyway, so then I learned later about the enzymes, and I don't leave home without them. I have like 5 packs on me all times, and I even drink them before I drink coffee because it's acidic. So, and the protein shake is amazing. It just empowers my body to do what God designed it to do, and I love it. Love it.
Absolutely, Deborah. Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, if you do have a stomach ulcer, a raw open wound in the stomach, I tell people put a little teaspoon of protein in about 4 ounces of water and just drink enough to coat your stomach. of these enzymes, healing enzymes. Amazing. All right. Anybody else want to stand up and give a testimony? Don't be shy on the digestive enzymes. Don't be shy. Somebody else.
Well,
All
in
right.
95, I had to have a hysterectomy and there was complications. And my digestive system was never the same after that. And I didn't have any idea until this lovely lady here told me that they took out my gallbladder. No one informed me. So it's been several years. And it's, been what, 25 something years anyway. That Enzyme just took care of it. I haven't had any trouble since, and I just can't be without it. I have 2 extra boxes at home, making sure I don't run out.
I love that. Back up, baby. Why? Because just an FYI, if they're going in for any surgery, such as what Nancy mentioned, a lot of times they will just go in and say, oh, you don't need a gallbladder. We'll snip it and take it out while we're in there, and you won't even know it. So I ask people, if you've had surgery, go back and look in the medical records to make sure you have your gallbladder, because it'll tell you whether or not, oh yeah, by the way, while we were in there, we decided to take out the gallbladder.
Yeah, I actually had a gallstone between the pancreas and the gallbladder. And I didn't get a second opinion on it because they said, I was in danger. So they suggested it be taken out. And so I just followed the doctor's orders, not knowing anything about a gallbladder flush or any of that stuff because, I was ignorant of that stuff. But today I'm more informed, and I do, blow the whistle and tell people to make sure that they always get a second opinion. And because I did have ulcers too. I had that study done from UCF over in Tampa, where they had a hose going up my nose and down my throat. And I had to wear that for 2 days, I think, while they monitored everything. And then that's when they said I had acid reflux, and I actually had the GERD surgery, where they went in and they tied my stomach around my esophagus so that that acid would not come back up. But what man did, God undid, because the last endoscopy that I had, it showed no evidence of me ever even having that surgery. It was undone.
That is an amazing testimony of God's grace and mercy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Charlotte wants to share. Go ahead, Charlotte.
In the last few stages of Walt, he passed away with dementia. And the last few, weeks, maybe months, probably the last 6 months, it gets pretty hairy for the caretaker. And I was having trouble with this, and I didn't know what it was. And so I came here. She knows, but I didn't take the stuff here. I went to the doctor. Of course, when the doctor gives you stuff, it doesn't heal you. It doesn't work. It doesn't heal. So I went there and I got whatever he prescribed. And I think I tried it maybe for a few weeks, at the most a month. Finally, I said, well, this is not working. So I called Lamont and got this packet. And I will not be without this one, because there was more going on than just the stress of my ill husband, because stress will just bubble everything else. But this is the most fantastic product. I don't necessarily take more than just one at night, but I wouldn't live without this stuff. I really ran out of the packets. I really need to try and keep the packets. So I bought a big containers of it. And I used to think, well, apple cider vinegar will do the same thing. Well,
It does have some enzymes in it. That's why, thank you so much, Charlotte, for sharing why Charlotte was going through a stressful time. And remember, what depletes your enzyme is stress. So she needed some help and assistance, and she saw the benefit of getting that help and assistance, and she never got off of it. Is there anybody else in the room that would like to share a testimony tonight about the digestion and the digestive enzymes? All right, and next would be, I'm opening up to our Zoom family here tonight. Thank you so much for everybody's on Zoom. And you said there's a question on the Zoom chat?
And she wanted to repeat your recommendation for, they deal with ulcer.
Okay.
Teaspoon of protein and like.
Yes, for healing the ulcers would be zinc, about 4 to 6 zinc a day for healing the ulcers. Flavonoids, which is a non-acidic vitamin C. You want a non-acidic vitamin C, flavonoids. So you want zinc, flavonoids. You want a little bit of the protein. You want the protein shake because the protein shake is going to coat the stomach. You want the pink enzymes, not the beta jest, hydrochloric acid. You want the pink enzymes. You want to be drinking bone broth. You want to be eating cabbage and saute that cabbage in some butter. I've got somebody right now that is in the process of healing a stomach ulcer, and they're putting the protein shake in their bone broth warm, and it's working great for them. Yes. So again, you want to boost your immune system, but the carotenoids are also going to be a healer, and the seminal is going to reduce inflammation, but mainly your minerals, your amino acids are involved in tissue repair. And if you can take garlic, take the garlic, because that garlic also is going to kill something called bacteria that doesn't belong there. So thank you for asking. And is there anybody on the Zoom that would like to share a digestive enzyme testimony tonight? Unmute yourself and give us a shout. All right. Okay. All right. Looks like we have some silence on the screen.
I was thinking, Levon, you were sharing about it also, the enzymes tearing down your thyroid. I had thyroid issues too. And when I started with Neolife in 2013, I did exactly as you and Louie recommended. And that was get on the breakfast solution straight away and stay on it for life. It's not for temporary, it's for life, because it's the chain of life.
Yes.
And I don't have thyroid disease anymore. I don't have thyroid issues.
That's amazing. Amazing for all that Deborah's been through and the high levels of stress. Again, when you correct your digestion, you'll have high amounts of more assimilation, especially of the minerals that the thyroid thrives on.
I didn't even know that. Like,
Yeah.
the enzyme thing affected until this class.
Wow. Wow.
What an amazing class.
Levon,
Yes, go ahead.
hey, it's me, Sean. How y'all doing, everybody?
All right.
I have a problem with my B12. Like, I take so much B complex, but my B12 levels are so low, and he's having to give me a shot. Now, if I'm taking the complex, it's okay for him to give me the shot to bring my B12 numbers up, because it's so low. I mean, it's like dangerously low, he's saying. And my B12 numbers.
Yes, Sean, I tell people to take the complex first. If they have something that's out of balance that needs to be corrected, then go on top of the complex, and you can target for a short period of time and isolate. But it's not good to start with an isolate.
No, I was doing I was taking the complex for a while, and we did that for a little bit for a couple months, and then my numbers are still low. So now that I'm still taking the complex, I can isolate with the B12. He can give me the shot, and that'll be okay because I'm on the complex, right?
Yes. And that you shouldn't need to do that for a long period of time.
Okay. Right. He said he was only going to do it twice. He said he was doing it once and then check it and then do it again. And then
Perfect.
that's it. So,
perfect, Sean.
right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's perfect. Those are rare cases. But I used to take B12 shots too. until I learned that you need to start with the family, cover all your bases. And then if you're still low in a certain isolate, then you can stack on the isolate for a short period of time until those
Okay.
levels kind of level out. So you're okay.
So I have a
Okay.
question.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Move on.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if you're taking the B complex, does it benefit you to take the stress pack on top of that?
Deborah's asking, taking B complex, if you're taking the stress pack, you can back down on your B complex.
Okay.
Because of the amount of B's that are in the stress pack.
Okay.
Stress pack was designed to be a short-term stack on.
Okay.
Unless you're a firefighter or a emergency responder, you know, on daily, you're on high cortisol drip every day.
Right.
It's designed for your period of time, get you through the stress levels, and then you can, but I take a stress pack if I'm going to travel. Why? Because the body's under stress when it travels. Again, you're drinking water, you're eating foods that your body's not used to. It's being up early in the morning. It's, you know, strange places, strange beds, strange people. And
Right.
then,
So now also I was at my urologist just what was it, yesterday or other day, or that's this week, and he said that my kidney function, like the number was low. So now I guess just drinking a lot more water. Is there something that I should take, supplement I should take to make sure my kidney function is working good, or just drink was
drink lots and
like a
lots of
little
water. Also,
lower the number?
yeah, Treonin and aloe. Your
I have aloe. Yeah, I drink aloe I put aloe in my shaker. So
good. And then the
put that in my
Treonin,
shake.
the Treonin for the kidneys.
Training.
Yep.
Okay, well I get that in
And,
my
and then the
my Western pack.
flavonoids again is a non-acidic vitamin C.
I take vitamin C too, so do I should get the flavonoid too with that, or
Yeah,
I take the
I would.
vitamin C.
Yeah. Just add for 30 days, add a couple of flavonoids to it.
Okay. So
Yep.
just add the flavonoids to it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Glad to see everybody. You guys are fantastic. Anybody else wants to say anything else before we sign off tonight?
Would the B12 shots be synthetic or natural?
They are synthetic. They are synthetic. They're not natural. Yeah, they're synthetic. Yeah. And many times they used to just do B12, but now a lot of them are doing the whole complex when you get a shot. But it's synthetic. And it is what it is. And again, but if you need something like Sean was talking about, go ahead and do it for a short period of time. And get those levels up and get them balanced.
Even Don Lawson talks about that, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I think it was Yvette is the one that taught me that. Yep. Awesome. Anybody else want to share anything before we sign off tonight?
Is this being recorded where we could share with members and potential prospects?
Yes, hold on a second. I'm going to stop recording at this moment.